I'll kick this off, guys. Awesome to see you all on here. I kind of stopped talking there because I don't want to steal Bryce's thunder. We spoke about a few different things, but I actually don't want to take away from it. But look, Bryce has been part of the high level community for an awful long time, just like a lot of other people on this call as well. He is all things CloseBot. He is hyper focused on that one thing, and that is absolutely being able to deliver really impactful bots that are there in those ecosystems. I know that I'm one of those users. I know that there's plenty of other people on this call and off this call that are also users as well. But Bryce is here to talk to us specifically around a few key things. And this is the first time that he's actually going through this presentation as well. So what we'll do is any questions, please drop them into the chat. I'll keep an eye on those. Let Bryce do his magic and kind of run that how he wants to see that fit out. And then I'll just measure out those questions and drop them in as we go. But Bryce, the floor is yours. Welcome.
Thank you. I think more than anything else, I want to deliver as much value as possible for you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I know Jarryd and I spoke, was that a week ago, a little over a week ago, just about how agencies are experiencing churn right now. There's a whole bunch of ambiguity around AI agents and whether or not they're working. But this is the same sort of thing you guys have been dealing with your entire time as a marketing agency. Whether it's, is my social posting working? Are my ads working? Is my conversational AI working? Is my AI voice working? It's all the same thing. And it's all come down to regular check-ins and reports. The nice thing with conversational AI, at least, is you can automate that check-in process. So that's what we're going to show today. And what I show is going to work with CloseBot and work with the built-in. No matter what you're using, this strategy works for you. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
I don't know if you guys know, while I get my presentation up, I don't know if you guys know about my background. I used to work as a software developer for Boeing. I did AI projects for them. This was back in 2019. So this was 3 years before like the big push of public chat GPT. It was much harder back then. Around that same time, I was trying desperately to get out of corporate. I'm sure many of you have been in this same sort of situation. Maybe some of you are in this situation already right now, trying to break out of the corporate trap, golden handcuffs, trying to replace your salary with your side hustle. That's what I was doing. And real estate is what got me out of that. And this sales AI that we call CloseBot now was what we used to handle 2,000 outbound new messages every single day to potential homeowners to kick the tires and see if we could drum up off-market real estate business. So you're all here because now more than probably ever in the past decade, business owners are struggling a little bit. They're looking to cut costs. We all feel this other side of the coin of AI, like what's going to happen next. We're all waiting for the next shoe to drop and we're all trying to manage expenses. We want to make sure you guys are not one of those expenses that they cut, not only because we care about your revenue, but because I truly believe if businesses cut their marketing agency that is getting results for them, it's going to kill that business. And we all care about the end businesses. They're your clients. So 3 things that I've noticed are an issue. We have agency customers mainly. They experience churn because their clients don't see you working. They see you collecting a monthly check. You may be doing weekly check-ins, monthly check-ins, but ultimately they don't know what you're doing. They feel like they're just paying you and they would get the same results if they didn't pay you. So the goal is to show them that that's not the case, that if they stop paying you, they stop growing this engine. Specifically with AI, clients notice issues before you do, especially if you've given them access to your HighLevel. They're watching their accounts like a hawk. And if you have more than one client, they are going to notice things before you do. And there are large gaps in time between AI improvements. Whether you're doing weekly check-ins, monthly check-ins, gathering that feedback, implementing based on feedback, those are really slow cycle times that we don't need and they don't want. So this will fix that. And then I have a bonus one that we'll cover later. So here's the solution. I'm going to give everything right away, and then we're going to spend most of our time actually building out this solution. You have your HighLevel. Everyone here white labeling HighLevel is part of their offering. If you're not, put it in the chat. Let me know. I want to know if we have anyone not doing HighLevel stuff. And Jarryd, you probably know too.
I think there's
Everyone
going to be a
here.
really high chance of everyone in here using HighLevel. And at some point, they've definitely used a chatbot, even if they've been playing around with it.
Okay, cool. So nothing needs to change there. We have this AI feedback loop that we want to implement. And that's what I'm going to spend most of my time showing you guys. How do you train the AI to notify you and or the business owner of issues that it notices? And then at least the business owner knows that you've been notified, they've been notified, and they know you're taking action on these things. Now, if you do this right, you'll notice notifications less and less over time. And so right up front, the business owner is probably going to see a lot of these and they're going to be like, oh man, Jarryd is doing a lot of work for me. Go, Jarryd. I don't want to cancel right now. And then later, as they get less and less, they're going to think, oh, I don't want to cancel Jarryd because I remember all of the work he did to get it operating smoothly. The AI is not notifying us of as many issues right now. And if I cancel with Jarryd, I have to start this process over again with someone else eventually. And then the hope would be that if conversational AI is your focus, you would use CloseBot as that conversational AI layer for HighLevel. We're now an endorsed affiliate for HighLevel. They do webinars with us. Sorry, that's one of my automations. Let me get it back up. Here we go. They've seen that they want to build horizontally. They want to build AI Studio. They want to build their community. They want to build the funnels, the forms, the standard automations, AI voice. They want to build all these things. They want to be the all-in-one tool, so they can't go deep in stuff. And if you want to go deep, I'd hope that you would go with CloseBot. Okay, so bear with me. I'm going to talk about the steps to this, but then we're actually going to set it up. So we'll start with HighLevel. We're going to create one custom text field for contacts called feedback. And then we're going to create one workflow that triggers when that field feedback updates. And it's going to notify you and or the business, whether that be text message, email, internal notification in app, you can choose. And then we're going to set stuff up in the AI to use this new tool that we've given it access to. We're going to point it at that field and let it know that that's something it can put text into if it ever feels like it needs to let you know of an issue that this contact raised. Let me know in the chat if anyone's done this before. I don't see any. Let me just test to make sure the chat is working. Who has used any sort of conversational AI, whether that be CloseBot, HighLevel's conversational AI, anything else? Okay, so the chat is working. No one has done this yet. This is something super easy you can set up and it'll blow the socks off of your businesses. And even if you don't want to notify the business, super helpful for you. You can even have it set up so it creates tasks for you to take the feedback and implement. So let's show it. We will start with something super familiar, HighLevel. Every time I do these demos, I have to give a little shout out to Review Harvest. There's someone that just gave me a HighLevel sub account. so that I can show you guys cool tools. We use HubSpot as our backend, but before that we were in HighLevel. Anyway, let's go into automations. Okay, we're here. Let me go into, I guess, our contact fields. Custom fields is in settings. Custom fields. And it should make you feel a little bit better that I bobble around in here a little bit. Like, you guys can do this so easily in like 10 minutes. Okay, see, I created this field name feedback. I just created the custom field. You could do a single line or multi-line. Either way, it should be a text box because that's where the AI is going to put its feedback for you. And I called it feedback. That title does matter too. So don't call it purple elephant and then expect it to put feedback in there. Call it feedback or something similar. Next, we'll go to automation. Start from scratch. While we're doing this, rate your level of automation with the workflow builder from 1 to 5 in the chat. 1 to 5. This is a level 1 difficulty. So no matter what number you put in, you're good. So add new trigger. Triggers are what starts the workflow. So we want the workflow to start when the contact has changed. Specifically, we don't want it to fire every time. That'd be chaos. Specifically, when the field feedback has changed. So having this set up right now, anytime the field feedback has changed, what do we want to happen? And this is where it's kind of up to you, but I'll give you some recommendations, especially for new clients. They want to see stuff. Even though they don't answer their phone, they don't answer their texts, they like to see that stuff and know that stuff is happening. And I'm saying this stuff because I am your guys' potential customer too. Like, I work with marketing agencies to do our marketing stuff, and I've hired and fired marketing agencies. Hindsight, I've fired good marketing agencies that I figure out later were good because they just didn't communicate enough. So once feedback has changed on a contact, let's do an internal notification. An internal notification is a message that's to like a user and not the contact. It'd be terrible to send a text to the contact letting them know the feedback that's supposed to go to our team. So don't do that. Internal notification. Here's where you get to pick. Do you and or the business want an email, internal notification, in-app, so up here, text message, WhatsApp. Let's click, just for the sake of this presentation so you can see it in here, the notification one. Let's call it feedback suggestion from, we could put it the contact name. Let's just call it feedback suggestion. Now I'm going to do the body of this is just going to be that field value, feedback. Redirect page, this is where you want it to go when you click it. If I click a notification, I probably want it to take me to the contact or conversation. User type. Here's where you can pick all users, in which case, if you're a user in their platform, you'll get a notification as well. Let's just pick that. Save action. You know what? We could even say AI feedback received. AI feedback received. Yeah, we'll keep that. We are on it. So they know you're working this stuff. Because you are. This is a roofer. If it lets them know their pricing is not clear on their homepage, a roofer doesn't know how to go do that. They'll feel overwhelmed. They want to know, okay, thank God I have this marketing agency because I don't know where my website's hosted, or I don't know how to fix that funnel. I don't know how to clear up that ad copy so it's more clear. I don't know how to teach the AI more about how XYZ works. That's why they hired you. And you want them to know that they're locked into you. And this is all reassuring that they're not going to quit your service. Okay, so one trigger, one action. Any questions on this? Let's publish it.
No questions yet, mate. I'm following along.
Cool. Let's title it so I don't lose it. Super easy so far. So the next step, let's go back here. We need to teach the AI how to use this. And this is going to work both in CloseBot and in HighLevel. Although I have not tested it in HighLevel, it should work. I'm going to show you CloseBot. Here is what an agent in CloseBot looks like. Give me a 1 in the chat if you've never seen this in your life, never worked with it, even if you've seen it on YouTube. It's pretty new to you. It's okay if that's the case. I'm going to make it really tangible. Now, only for those of you who gave a 1, give a 2 if you've worked with the conversational AI. So I want to know specifically for those who have not worked with CloseBot that you've worked with the conversational AI. Cool. Now I want you to act as my check and balance. I'm going to make some claims about things that HighLevel's AI should be able to do. Let me know if any of that's false. It should not be false. Okay. So because we have some of you who have never seen this before, let me show you around a little bit. Here in the settings, I have made some, we call them personas. It's the people who are going to be doing the job. We've set up these personas so that you can split test and see how Sam converts more appointments versus Beth. Maybe Sam is helpful and bubbly, and Beth is a real pain in the ass. Maybe the pain in the ass converts to more booked appointments. There's only one way to find out, A/B testing. That's why we have things broken into the persona and the job. The job is the actual job that needs to be done. And so we're going to spend our time on that. But Sam's going to be doing this job. I have this connected to my CloseBot demo account. That's what I'm working in that I'm showing you right now. I have some tag filters on there. 2 things we want to fill out in here. Why the conversation's happening. Imagine the AI as a newborn baby of adult intellect that was dropped into a black box. It has no idea why these conversations are happening. You need to let it know. Hey, this lead is chatting with you via the chat widget because they may be interested. And important business information. Think of this as the flashcard that you would give a virtual assistant that has just started the job with all the most important information about your business. You don't have to list everything. Let it know you're a family-owned, this is a family-owned business, works in this area. Here are the things that are important to us. Whatever is most important to you goes in here. Don't worry about the rest. We then have uploads. So here I have a scraped website. You could create a note, do a different kind of upload, scrape a website, and it's attached to that CloseBot demo account. Okay, so back to here. This is saying when the conversation starts, we're going to go to this agent node, and here are your instructions on how to do this very simple job. We're going to help them out, but the end goal is to get them booked into our consultation calendar with tool, book appointments. Use the tool check appointment availability at any time if we already have appointments that need rescheduled, or cancel using this tool. Now we have these pre-built recipes for you. So if you want to put in a section for general booking, we kind of drop some text in there for you. People get hung up on this. It really doesn't matter. You don't even have to call out the tools like I did. You just have to give it access to the tools you want. So at this stage, I want it to be able to book appointments, check appointment availability, cancel and reschedule appointments, updating the contact. That's important because we have that contact field. If I wanted it to be able to add tags, I could do that too. You choose what you want to give it access to. Then I have this other section on including internal feedback. If you ever see areas where you want to give our team feedback on how to improve our instructions, general business operations, knowledge base, etc., you can update your feedback with the update contact tool into field contact.feedback, and we'll receive it and take action. And just in case you're wondering how I dropped these tags in here, you can just type @ to call out variables, @ to call out tools, and then we won't go over exits. A little bit more advanced. This is if we wanted it to detect someone not interested and exit from here and stop responding, we could do that. We won't create any exits. This alone is super powerful and will blow the minds of all the businesses that you can put this in place for. I'm going to open my testing portal. And this is one of the powerful parts about CloseBot too. When I message in here, a few things happen. See its thought process. Makes it easier to troubleshoot. And in here, we actually created a test contact. When you do a test session, test contact gets created. That way we can actually test conversational booking and stuff. Everything works the way it should. Your automations work. Everything can be tested from that test portal. So it makes it a lot easier. Okay. So let's have this tied to my website. What's your pricing? Okay. Happy to go over pricing with you. It pulled from our website. You like to book a time that works for you, works. This is something you can edit in the persona if you want it to do typos. And that stuff matters. It converts higher. Let's say I can't find pricing on your website. See that? Did you see that flash, the update contact? Let's see what it did. I can click this to see the tools it used. It used the update contact tool. It updated feedback with contact unable to find pricing on website. The pricing page may not be displayed correctly. The pricing info is not clearly visible. Should review closebot.com/plans page to ensure pricing is actually displayed. Let's go back in here and check this out. Here's the contact. Contact unable to find pricing on website, which triggered this feedback suggestion with that feedback. So we got the feedback, the business owner got the feedback. Now we can take it a step further. And let's create a task. Review feedback. Dynamic. How do I make it for today? I guess this probably does it for tomorrow. Skip weekends. Days. There we go. Yeah, so this makes a task for tomorrow for me to review this and take action. The business owner can see this, and they may be reviewing the conversation and be like, oh man, it couldn't find our pricing. Why couldn't it find our pricing? And then they'll see the task and they'll be like, oh, thank God they're on it. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, we have some questions. How about if there are more than one feedback in the same chat? Well, let's test that. So let's say, actually, let me save this first. Save, publish. Now I'm confused too. What could we be confused about?
Trading hours.
What's that?
Trading hours.
Trading hours.
Yep. Open hours.
So again, it should search the site. And I don't think I have anything on our website about that. That's a relatively new thing that we have where you can set the hours you want it to reply. A lot of people have it wide open because I mean, it's AI, but some people want to make it seem human and only reply during the day. Or some people have a team during the day and only want it to reply during the night. You can do all that. So it handled this gracefully. It didn't necessarily lie, but it saw an area where we could improve, which is what my prompt in here said. Where areas where you feel like we could improve our instructions, general business operations, knowledge base, etc. And so it gave a suggestion. Let me see it in here. Yeah, total enrolled twice. So does this make sense? And this can be done with HighLevel too, yeah? Yeah. So let me take a little bit of a segue to something else. I'm talking a lot about what HighLevel can do too, but because I'm here talking about CloseBot, and my team would yell at me if I didn't do this. There are a lot of things that we do and HighLevel does not. We have a native integration with HighLevel and HubSpot. Smart FAQ is an area within CloseBot that will notify you of things it doesn't know the answer to. And so this is a built-in CloseBot function. If you wanted to give them access to seats within CloseBot, I can come in here and see the list of things that CloseBot pinged me about that it didn't know the answer to. I filled in the answer, and then it followed up with the person later. And if they came in on something like live chat, but we also had their phone number, it can switch the channels and follow up with them on the channel that makes the most sense to answer their question about, what happens if I go over my message limit? What specific HIPAA compliance features are included, or whatever question they had. Again, that can close more deals. Better pricing at scale, better fallback procedures. We're going to be more reliable than HighLevel's conversational AI. They can email now, so I need to update this. We've been doing the flow builder for about 3 years. They have some flow built stuff, but they have really 5 different types of AI across different sections that people get confused about. Ours is going to be more robust, stronger, more reliable. Scenario detection, I won't go into that. Sending and receiving images, we can both do that. That persona split testing that I showed you, that's a CloseBot thing. The visual testing portal, super helpful. Go back into that. So the ability to come in here and easily test and see things highlight as it's doing the stages. We have dedicated support just for conversational AI. How many times do you go to the support team and they're trying to route you to the people that know how to answer the question and they don't know how to answer the question? Multiple CRM integrations, so you can build for people no matter the CRM they're in. And I'll show you a little bit of that next as like how to get them into your HighLevel if they're not already in it without setting up a full sub account for them. Third-party data connection. So we can conversationally book to ServiceTitan, Calendly, cal.com. We have these things called custom tools that you can build to tie into other third-party systems. HighLevel doesn't do that. We can update all custom field types. HighLevel still can't do that for some of their custom field types in that testing portal that people know and love. We have a bunch of other stuff in here. This is several months old, and you guys know that's an eternity in AI. But when it comes down to it, this is all we do. I have the founder energy geared toward this. And so we're able to move faster and better. And 2, we have all of this sales data and the team to analyze the data and implement a lot of things on optimizing these tools for you. So like our appointment booking tool, it converts to higher booked appointment rates. Getting availability, it's going to cost you less money when it gets availability than the built-in. This is going to cost you less money in usage and get you better results. Okay, off my soapbox. Now I want to show you the last problem you may run into. And let me know if this is a problem for you. I've heard it from our users. Let me know if this is something you run into. You're trying to convert someone to be a new client. For a lot of our people, their foot in the door is the chat widget. And it can be daunting to set up a whole sub account for people, especially if they're not going to become a client. and B, scary to show them the HighLevel platform before they're ready. Yes, analysis paralysis, Jarryd. So if that's you, it's much quicker to spin up a CloseBot chat widget. We have our own native chat widget that you can drop on their site. And that's another thing that was not in the list that's relatively new. We have our chat widget that's going to be much more reliable than the HighLevel chat widget and vibe code friendly. So HighLevel's coming to present in our group on Thursday, showing how their AI studio works with our chat widget, not their chat widget, because it can't vibe code edit their chat widget. So for this, I'm going to flip flop it a little bit. CloseBot acts as your foot in the door via the chat widget. Chat widget's fantastic, by the way. If you guys are looking for clients, look for any client with a chat widget on their site that's not actually responsive. So if it's like just a fake form, or even worse, you send a message and someone would only respond if there was actually a human there, and so no one responds, or they don't have a chat widget. The typical thing I see is like, text us anytime, call us anytime. My age group, I don't want you to have my phone number until I'm good and ready. I don't want to text you. Chat widget, I'll get into that, but I don't want to text you. I don't want to call you. I just want a no obligation, totally anonymous chat widget that I can chat with you on. So use CloseBot as your foot in the door. And then do that feedback loop that we saw a little bit of. It's a little bit different when you're not using the CRM. So I'll show you that briefly. And then upsell to HighLevel once you've sold them on it. So if you're not using a CRM at all, I'll briefly go over how to do this, and then we'll have time for questions. Step one is a little bit different than how HighLevel adds the chat widgets. Step one is you add the CloseBot sales pixel to the header. And then you can go in and use our interface to set up chat widgets on whatever pages you want for them. Then I'll show you how to set up a custom tool in CloseBot that will trigger a HighLevel automation in your account. Now, this is probably more of a 3 difficulty, maybe a 2 or 3. So it'll trigger an automation in your account or in Zapier or whatever else you use to notify them of what's happening. Feedback loop is the same. So let's go into this. Let's pretend this was not hooked up to a HighLevel account. How could we notify the business owners of things? Let me show you. I'm going to click this Tools button. Scroll to the bottom, and I can create a custom tool. And this can do a couple things. We could have this do the feedback thing that I already showed you, or we could notify a business owner of a good lead and let them know the name and phone number for this person. Maybe let's do that because we already did the feedback loop. Maybe let's do notification of who they are and that they're a good lead. Notify of qualified lead. That's our tool name. Use this tool to notify a business owner of someone we think is a good lead. Now here's where I would create a workflow in my account. So this is my HighLevel CRM. I assume you guys all use HighLevel as your own CRM. add a trigger, inbound webhook, copy this, I'm going to use a post so that I can send some data here. And we need to send here, let's do form data. I think HighLevel can handle this. Name, contact, first name, last name, and we'll do phone. So the AI can call this tool to send a contact name and phone. And then I'm going to explain it in here how I want it to use this tool. I'm going to explain that I want it to gather the first and last name and phone number for people. And if it can get that, use this tool to send it to the business owner. Next step, let's test it with just some dummy information. Bryce, Cora, 555, 555, 5555. And then let's go make sure that that was received. So we got name and phone. Cool. Save trigger. Okay, so we got that. I could create a contact. Let me internal notification, SMS, custom number. And maybe this is our all new roofing company. I'm setting this up for all new roofing. Whatever their phone number is. And letting them know, not trigger links, the name, and the phone number. The same thing. Do I have to create a contact?
Yeah.
Okay, we can create a contact too. Name, logging this down in our CRM. So managing this for all new roofing company, they get sent a text anytime a new lead is created. You don't have to go in HighLevel. You don't have to set up the HighLevel sub account for them. Easy in here. But this also shows the power of these custom tools. You can use these cool tools to tie into whatever you want. So your business owners who are like, hey, I use Service Titan to do XYZ. Can you conversationally book to Service Titan calendars? Yep, totally can with this. We can create a get availability tool and a create quote tool, and it'll work. Calendly, same thing. Cal.com, whatever system you want to build with, and even if it's your own system that calculates solar potential of roofs in a certain area, your agent can now call that. So you're no longer just bound to the tools that HighLevel has. Tools are webhook based. Yes, that opens it up to any tool. And Annette said you're creating the new contacts in your own GHL account. So you need to tag them, I guess. So they're in a smart list. Yeah, Annette. And really, this is just for the sake of the notification. This is if you want have a business owner that just, they want a chat widget on their site and that's it. They don't want to log into anything. Maybe there's someone you just started work with and you don't necessarily want to gum up your HighLevel sub accounts with a whole sub account for them. Next, and we'll complete that. Okay. Before we get into questions, that one, less important. I wanted to show the power of the custom tools. Important one, feedback loop. Where were we? Up here. Don't let them be frustrated, thinking that they're seeing problems before you're seeing them and you're not taking action. Doesn't have to be that way. Don't let them see stuff before you do in general. Even if you don't see it, they'll think you saw it because they'll see the task created for you to do work. And don't let them churn because they don't think you're doing work. Now, aside from all the feature-related things that I said about CloseBot, about 95% of our users are high-level agency owners. So 100% of those have tried the built-in and are choosing to use CloseBot. So keep that in mind. If it is a pillar of your business, you should not be using the built-in. And that goes for anything. If the pillar of your business is something, don't use the built-in HighLevel to do that because they build shallow. I chatted with Varun about this and the importance of the marketplace. They want people to be using marketplace tools because they do not plan to put emphasis into all of their features. We are rated last I checked, it was number 34 in the world on AI agent products on G2, which is where people go to review SaaS products. We're rated above HighLevel for AI agent products in general. We're the number one for sales. And here are some quotes that we've gotten recently from there. We're giving you a code. It expires in 1 week. It'll give you 1 month free that only starts after a 7-day trial. So really you have 37 days if you want to start with CloseBot. The code is Aussie Power. So that's for you guys. Give it a try. Get clients paying you money or get clients who are not churning that would have churned. Save them. And in 37 days, it's paying for itself, if not more. Okay, let's open it up for questions. And remember, this stuff we learned works no matter what. If you're doing conversational AI, implement it no matter what. Good question. How much is it? Our business accounts are as low as $64 a month. That includes usage. That includes one bot. The agency account is $397. That allows you to white label. It's going to be cheaper after about maybe 4 or 5 sub accounts. If you have 4 or 5 sub accounts doing higher usage, the usage in CloseBot is going to be cheaper. So it ends up paying for itself. And you can rebill. You can rebill that. You can tie into existing Stripe customers. So it's all seamless for you.
There was a question before as well, Bryce, from Fred, but I think that was answered around the feedback. Is that right, Fred?
I'm still a little bit confused about it. Like, is it the bot giving the feedback, or is somebody filling in a form to get the feedback? Is there a customer giving it, or is there a client giving it?
That was the bot giving feedback on what it thinks can be improved.
Okay.
Based on what the contact said. So the contact said, hey, I can't find your pricing. And the bot updated that field saying, hey, I think we could improve our pricing. It seems like people are confused.
Okay, that clarifies it. Thanks.
Good question, Fred. And then Alok, mate, you had one here about the question around sub account and agency, but I think we've identified there that we can do both. We can have them on their own sub account, and then we can also then, like Bryce was showing before, have its own agency account. Did you have anything else to add to that?
Yeah, so that feedback custom field which we're creating. So let's say I have ABC Plumbing a sub account, and we've installed CloseBot to their, like we integrating CloseBot to their sub account, and we're managing conversations from CloseBot's AI into that sub account. So that feedback custom field we're creating into ABC Plumbing sub account in HighLevel, and then sending an internal notification to the ABC Plumbing team, and also tagging us or sending it notification or creating a task for us. So that means we will also have to be a user in that sub account for
Right. To do
them to
that,
see from there, for them to see that the task is created. I mean, based on what you just demoed, right?
you would. Another thing you could do if you don't want to be a user in that account is send yourself an email.
An email.
So you
Yeah.
can send an internal notification email, and then
Yeah.
they'll see within their HighLevel account that your contact was
Email's
sent
been
an
sent.
email.
Yeah. So, but the main question which I was coming to, like that feedback custom field would be in their own sub account, and then we can communicate anyways to the agency, which is us in this case. Okay, makes sense.
Right. I do want to call out too, this can work on, unlimited sub accounts, but also across unlimited agencies. There's this rising trend of agencies that want this sort of stuff, and they don't know how to implement it. So even if you want to use your CloseBot account and build AI agents cross agency, you can do that.
Hold on. So I have a question about that. So that means I can integrate to any other HighLevel agency if they have a HighLevel account as well. Oh,
Yeah.
that's new. Yeah, that's good.
This can also work one bot for unlimited sub accounts. Let's say you have 100 plumbers. They're all roughly doing the same thing. You can pull in variables for business name, business address, things that it would need to know. Each source can have its own entire knowledge base. So each one of them could have its scraped website. And then that one bot can handle all the leads for all of the plumbing companies. That's nice because then you just have to make one change, and that reflects across all 100 sub accounts instead of going into all 100 sub accounts and editing 100 bots when you notice something's wrong.
I'm sorry, but I've got questions about that. I don't want to take up. I can
for
come
it.
back to it because others have questions, I guess.
Keep going, Alok.
Yeah,
You've got
like,
the
Yes,
floor,
keep
mate.
going.
I'm interested in your question
Yeah,
as well.
keep going. That's right.
Yeah, so what you mentioned, so Bryce, just like this Aussie group, we have our own community and we have other high-level agencies who are in our community and all that. So what I heard from you is I can have a CloseBot account, I can build my own specialized bot, right? And I can give other community access to that bot to you install it into their sub accounts. Is that what I'm hearing?
If they're all the same industry or they're all doing the
Same
same
industry. So let's say it's a reputation
same
management
job.
bot, right? Let's say it's a reputation management bot, like could be working for anyone. I'm just thinking out loud here what's possible. So let's say it's a bot which is very specialized reputation management agent. Okay. So I have a community of people who are all selling reputation management as a service, right? To other businesses. So if I've built a specialized bot which is trained just to take care of reputation management and all that stuff, if I create that bot, I can give access to Jarryd. Like, hey, Jarryd, here's my specialized bot, which I built because he's a client of ours. And he can take that bot and install it into his agency to be deployed to ABC Plumbing when he signs up ABC Plumbing. Does that make sense? Like there are 3 layers here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit different because for these businesses, they would have to be in your account. Jarryd doesn't want to be in your account.
Got it.
But something you can do if you've built a bot that you want to share with your community or other people. I'm going to show you this because this is going to be important for you.
Great questions. I like what you're thinking.
Say you've built something, and even if it has custom tools or this is something that people want, you can come up here, you can share. And then if you have an affiliate link with us too, this link that they can
Becomes
download
an
the bot
affiliate link.
from will include your affiliate link. So if they download it, They're tracked under your affiliate. And then I can copy this, use it, and it just drops the persona and bot into my account.
Got it. Awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. Did you have any other questions, Alok, while we're talking, mate?
Nah, I'll move on. Yeah, I'll
You're
come
all
back
good?
to it. Yeah.
Someone unmuted before. Was that you, Brett? Someone unmuted? Did someone unmute to ask a question?
No, I was just encouraging Locke to keep answering questions or keep asking questions because I was thinking along the same lines. So yeah,
These are good
thanks, mate.
questions.
Awesome.
Annette
Awesome.
asked, and I answered, but I want to call it out too. She asked, is that with the agency bot account or a single business account? And that's even with the single business account. You can do unlimited sub accounts on a business account that has access to one bot. So if you're serving clients across a single niche, that $64 plan works for you, at least to get started. That's going to give you 500 messages a month included in that $64.
What
And then
happens
you can
after
tie it all
500?
into that single one.
What
After
happens
the
after
500?
500 on that plan?
Let me show you.
Because let's say I have like 20 businesses use on that business plan because I just need one bot, right? What happens after that 500?
So come to our pricing page. If you're a business, monthly price, that's at 64 US dollars. And let's say we want to do 1,000 messages. That's 84, 2,109.
Okay. And that message pricing is included. That let's say I'm at
That's
5K
included.
messages. So message, because on the other plan, I see it's 0.012 per message.
Yeah. And that's because on that one, you can rebill. This one,
Yeah,
you can't
got it.
rebill. But yeah, they are all the price for the messages is included in that cost.
Got it. Awesome, man.
While you're down there as well, Bryce, do you want to explain the knowledge base and how that stacks as well with 1 megabyte onwards?
Yeah, and what we're seeing is 90% of our users are using less than 20 megabytes of storage. That's a lot because it's pure text.
Yeah.
People see that and they're like, oh, well, that's nothing. Well, it's because you're used to 4K videos. This is pure text. So that's a ton. And then this users, it doesn't take any users to add a sub account if you're not giving them access. We have client seats too, so they could come in. You wanted to build more of a business around CloseBot, and they can upload their own knowledge base that you're rebilling for. They can see their own messages. They can manually reply from within CloseBot. They have lightweight access. They can't see the job flow. You are the gatekeeper of that. But that's what those client seats are, or team member seats that can edit job flows and update the settings for you.
And while you're at it, what is a job flow?
That job
Because
flow
I see that slider up there. So
was this. This is one job flow.
got it. Like a workflow, just one workflow you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Hold on. So one workflow would be one agent as well? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then you can also split test that too, right?
What's that?
You can then also split test that as well, right? With the avatars. So you can literally then chuck as many in there as you like.
Easy to switch them out. We support Anthropic, OpenAI, Gemini, Grok. Maybe you want to test and see how OpenAI performs versus Anthropic. Run Anthropic for a little bit, easily swap out that persona or your OpenAI one.
You ran a test on this, didn't you, Bryce? I feel like I've seen a post where you actually tested this as well.
Yeah, it changes all the time, so I should do it again. I have a white paper. Let me find where it was. Blog. I'll share it in here. Here it is. I'll drop this in the chat. I did research based on all of our data on which AI was best at sales. At this time, when was this? February 5th, it was Anthropic. Came out the winner.
That's cool.
So we go into the exact data behind it here. And that's the kind of stuff that I'm doing as a founder that's focused purely on conversational AI that you just don't get from another company where the founder is focused on, literally everything.
I've got a question. Oh, I don't know if I must have missed something, but I was under the impression that the bot is a widget on your, like a web chat on your website.
This can chat through all of the channels in HighLevel, whether that's the built-in HighLevel chat widget or text message or Gary Caps's My CRM Sim.
Right.
HighLevel can take over all of those channels. You have control. So if I wanted a bot that only chats on text message, for example,
Yeah.
I could do that. And
So
only if
that's
the
why,
tag DBR is on the contact. That's how you choose when it replies and when it doesn't reply.
and the next question was, I didn't understand why there's so many bots in the one account. Is that because they're on different channels, or?
In my account, it's because I do webinars, and so I'm showing all kinds of different stuff. But for your account, you wouldn't have nearly this many.
Yeah. So
Like I have
So
one
the one
for,
web chat would take care of sales questions, booking appointments.
yeah, it can handle
And
all
you
of
just
it,
train it to do everything.
everything.
Right.
Yeah. Like I'm building out templates right now. So I have one for med spa, one for real estate, one for digital marketing agencies, one for this clothing activewear company. This is for our HighLevel webinar, actually. And I have another fitness studio.
And you can have different bots as well, right, Bryce? Like you can have a bot for your website, a bot for a landing page that you might be running a different qualifying process.
You could, but really everyone uses the same bot for all their channels. Most people.
Yep.
Most people do.
And finally, my final question was what you said about the different LLMs, and you did tests on different LLMs. Is that the underlying, like you use Anthropic for this? That's
We
nothing
made
to do with us.
Anthropic our default because of that research paper. So if you come in and you get started with CloseBot, you'll find that your persona is working with Anthropic and then OpenAI as the fallback and then Gemini as the fallback for that. So if one's down, you're still
Right.
running.
Yeah, so we don't need to know that really. Yeah.
No.
No. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
We've still got so many questions. It's great. I can see one here from Tara as well. Tara's asked if we create agents, can we sell them in marketplace? I don't think we can we, Bryce?
No.
That's cool. Brett's asked a really good question, mate. And I like this because we're talking about competency levels and stuff like that. But Brett's gone from novice to expert in CloseBot. What sort of time?
To go
Great
from
question.
novice to expert in CloseBot? Oh man. Well, if the bar didn't move, that's one thing, but the bar, it continues moving. But we also spend time coming back through and thinking, how can we simplify this stuff? We have a bunch of stuff that's a toggle. Does it have to be a toggle or can we handle that automatically? I would say in that 7 days time, if you spend even just a little bit of time each day, it'll make sense and you'll be good to go. We have our community in here too. So if you get started, make sure you come in here, click community. We have our human onboarding, but I would suggest do this recorded onboarding first. We have some lessons in here. It'll take about 30 minutes to go through that, and then go to the onboarding call with any questions you have after doing this course. And then I feel like after those two things, you're going to be rock star.
It's a really good question. It's really, really good. The resources in there as well. Mate, we've got one from Thomas. How many external CRM calendars is currently available to integrate with appointment booking, rescheduling, and cancellations?
The native ones of HubSpot and HighLevel have the built-in tools, but you can build out tools for whatever ones you want. We've built out ours for Calendly because we use Calendly for our group demo. So built-in tools for HighLevel and HubSpot, whatever you want for custom tools.
I like this question. Aloke's asked a really good question, mate. The annual agency plan has 50 templates. What are those?
I go to this agents page and I want to add a flow. Test, high level type flow. We have tons of templates in here. Now, to be transparent, these templates are about 5 months old, and we should have the full redo on all these templates done by the end of this next week and put in here. So they'll all reflect best practices by the end of next week. Currently, they don't. They're using a bunch of older processes that just over time we've seen don't work as well as some of the newer things that we can do. They all have a video too. Well, at least all the pro templates, that's that 50 templates that comes with that annual plan.
And so I think that answers your question as well, Tara, that the templates are available to the users that are on the annual plan.
We have, I believe it's 7 templates available for free users. 9 available for 9 additional on any of the paid accounts, even if you're on monthly. So even if you're on a monthly paid account, you get 16. And then if you're on annual, you get 50.
Aloke's asked a good question, mate. Is the LLM cost included or do we put in our own key?
LLM cost is included. I'm glad you asked that. And there are a couple reasons why we did that. We are pushing toward SOC 2 security compliance, and we are HIPAA compliant. And the only way to do that is to not allow you to use your own key. So we loop in the costs. That's included in the cost per message.
I like this question from Tim, mate, because it's less on the technical side. So what are the thoughts on volume of traffic needed to make a chatbot a decent ROI? And I'm curious to know your answer to this because I also know that we're talking beyond just a website chat widget with what this can do. But yeah, I'm curious now from Tim's question here, what your thoughts are on that.
That's a super good question. And it depends drastically. I know we hate that it depends. But if I'm running a highly specific ad campaign, for example, to a landing page where the chat widget is not in the bottom right, but fully in the center, you might have a 75% conversion rate on traffic. So it doesn't matter if you're getting one lead per day hitting your site if 75% of them are converting. That's huge. But if you just have it in the bottom right, you don't have it auto pop up like we do on ours. Like this is something you can edit within the CloseBot settings to have it auto pop up with a sound. Like if your call to actions on the screen, point to it. With a normal chat widget and none of that, you could get 1,000 people in a day and have no one engage with the chat widget. So it just depends.
Especially if it's just like, put your name in, put your email in. No one's here, but we'll get back to you. And you're like,
and let me show some of these settings for the chat widget, just so you can see. I talked about the chat widget and a lot of people are like, why a chat widget? HighLevel has a chat widget. So you can use this in place of the HighLevel chat widget. All the chats still show up in HighLevel as live chat. I'll show you ours. So the header, welcome message, this is all stuff that we're accustomed to. Show online status. See that little green dot? And little green dot down there? That makes a difference. Message sound. If you turn this on, it's going to do a little ding when it pops up or when they receive a message. That makes a difference. That converts better. Form. You can choose to have them fill out a form. You can even make this optional so they can still message back and forth, but they can choose to fill out the form.
I think that's really cool how that's optional.
Yeah, we can detect their exit intent. So if they're moving up to the top left or top right of the screen to exit the browser, you can have it pop up with that preview message that we're using here. Or you can have it pop up with the full chat. Time on page rules, scroll percentage rules. All this stuff matters just as much as how you're driving the traffic there.
And if you're someone new to this, Bryce, and then you had the training that you were showing before, is that part of what the training is, going over these things that we're talking about here as well? Like how to set these agents up in a way that they are more engaging and getting the most out of that? Because the question where you answered it with Tim before is such a really good point, is you could have like 4 people coming through to your site, but if they've got high intent and then you've got an incredible agent there to be able to talk to them, naturally you're going to see that conversion coming through.
That onboarding is more of teaching you where things are and what they do. And then honestly, once you understand things, you guys are probably going to be able to build higher converting agents than even I could, because I'm a stupid tech guy. I can't run our ads because I suck at ads. I don't understand the marketing stuff that you guys are all like really good at. So once you understand where things are, what they do, it's where you use your expertise to say, okay, what's gonna close. But luckily we have this community of people who are asking questions like that and getting answers. So come in the community and post like what's converting for you guys. What are you guys finding?
So I guess, Bryce, when we look at this as well, I love this workshop and how you've broken it down on how we can actually get an agent up and running and setting it out. Then I put my sales hat on and it's like, all right, well, what would be the approach to this? Because there's people on this call that have all different levels of experience of sales, and then they all have their own level on their own experience on how they want to do their outreach. So there's going to be people that are going to pick up the phone and call people. There are going to be people that are running ads for this, people that are going to be doing cold outreach. What do you find is, if we're talking about what we've seen today and building this out, what do you think is the approach? Are you building out something like a demo and going, hey, we've built out this demo, we want you to check it out, and then you're dropping that into a niche in particular that you're focusing on? What do you find people within the community or from your own experience are doing to win by selling chatbots?
I'll touch on 2 things that work really well. One for people who have between 0 and 10 clients, and then another for people who have 10 plus. So if you have 0 to 10, you're really just getting started and everyone matters. I would focus local. Go to Google, whatever your niche is, search roofers. I'm in Everett, Washington, so I'm just going to go roofers, Everett. And I think the chat widget is such an easy foot in the door, because what's 0% of 100 or 1,000 or 1,000,000? Like it's 0. They're getting nothing. If you get them anything, it's going to pay for your services. So if I just go to one, I'm not calling them I'm not calling them. You guys should call them and let them know they don't have a dang chat widget on their site. What the heck are they doing? And especially if you can say like, hey, this works. I can do it for free. Like, let me do this for free for X, like however many days you want. Spool it up real quick. And then after that time, convert them. That is so easy. And so many people have won with that. Now that's a lot of legwork. Something you can do as you get more clients. Maybe you have an email list. You know, a lot of you guys have an email list, something that people have been doing, or with database reactivations. Once you build a bot, and I don't know if you knew this, Jarryd, you can come in here and do a share demo. Have you used this?
No.
I'll create a new demo link. I'll choose not to connect it to a source. And I can copy this link. This is white labeled too. And sorry, let me sign out so we don't see they obviously won't have their CloseBot account signed in. They put in their website here. Let's, roofers. They have a website, but it's a text us one. Oh man.
That's a mess. There's two
chat,
on there.
two chat widgets.
Crazy.
They have this
It's
one.
Podium.
And then they have another one. I don't know what's going on. Okay, let's put their website in. Now I have this one set up in the important business information, letting it know that it's an assistant for CloseBot. So I don't. So this is where when I set up my bot, I told it in the important business information that it's working for CloseBot. You guys would leave that more generic. On the back end, it's scraping and building. And then when it loads in, it has, as long as it can scrape the site, this acts as your client demo. So they can test what their actual bot would perform like. Send this link out, have people interact with it. And then you could even put in the important business information that there's a call to action that they should know about, that they should contact you if they want this for their homepage.
You know, it'd be epic with this is if when it goes into that demo, does it actually pull the image like a screenshot of their website as well, Bryce?
It pulls it into the knowledge base so it knows all this information.
Just on the demo though. So, you know, you've got the demo there with the conversation taking place. Can you have in the background that it actually has the website technically being shown as a screenshot behind it to make it look like the chatbot's actively working on their site?
Not as it is right now. But yeah, that would be awesome. Even if it was just like a
screenshot
homepage shot.
Yeah, because then they can go, cool, that actually is my website, and away they go.
But some people are building this for, like they do database reactivations through texting. You know, so they're trying to convince people to work with them to do their next database reactivation
Makes
campaign
sense.
through texting or Facebook Messenger, since it works with all channels. So will we eventually? Probably. But for now, this is a great way to just show people a glimpse of what's possible through these demos.
So we're talking with this one, and this was 1 to 10. That strategy was 1 to 10 people, right? If you were getting 1 to 10 clients, what would the next strategy be if you're going beyond
so the
that?
1 to 10 was the more hands-on approach of going through finding who doesn't have a chat widget and reaching out to them, actually reach out to them as a person. This one's more scalable because you can email it out
Gotcha.
to a bunch of
Sweet.
people. Another idea on the 1 to 10, we have people who are attending, I don't know if you call it the same, like Chamber of Commerce, local business gatherings where they vote on business regulations and such. Just be networking with people. Other scale options, like I said, this can reply to any channel, including text message. So if you wanted to run a database reactivation and you're dripping out a bunch of texts, this can reply to any responses. So say you're dripping out a bunch of texts to business owners that have filled out your form in the past and maybe aren't working with you. Try to get them re-engaged and try to get this to conversationally book them for a client onboarding call with you or an exploratory call.
You could even do this as a database reactivation. I'm even just thinking about anyone that's taking you up on the discount with the coupon, the Aussie coupon. You could even use this with your current database. Just look at everyone that's currently sitting in there, whether it's 100 people or 2,000 people, but set up a database reactivation and go, hey, we're going to set you up with an agent for your website. And normally they're, $197 or $397, however you want to position it. But then you can then offer that at $97 a month. And then that way, when you're talking about a too good to be true offer, if you get that set up for someone and then it's giving them feedback and working through that process, then what you're doing is you're building a base of low-end, low-ticket offers, getting people in and getting some recurring revenue. But then you've got a foot in the door to then talk about those additional things, to implement voice AI, to talk about running ads, building out websites, however that might look. But I really like that because it gives you a chance to actually get something that is giving that feedback back to you as well as the client to keep them engaged. Because even when I look at the years of marketing, if you aren't consistent with like showing a monthly report as an example, or if you just don't show reports, they're like, I know that you're running, like, I know you're spending my money on ads, but are you actually doing anything with it? Like, what would happen if I turned it off? Would the phone still ring? And so that touch point is so valid, because if you don't have that in there and then people are left to their own demise, or other vendors reach out and all of a sudden for the next 2 weeks they're hot on the heels telling them how great they are and how high contact they are and how they're different, then all of a sudden you get this random like, hey, look, I've decided I'm going with someone else. And it's like, what do you mean? It's like, well, I just don't hear from you guys. It's like, yeah, well, I didn't know that you wanted me to reach out to you, and I've seen a lot of this is that there's those kind of scenarios. Or there's a current scenario that I'm seeing where people are canceling, and they love everything that these people are doing, but they're like, I'm just trying to cut down on costs. Living's different. I'm noticing that, I don't have the cash flow that I did. And you're great though. Like, we love what you're doing, but we just can't afford it. We're trying to save on some subscriptions. So it's been like interesting seeing this presentation, because it's now showing you a way to have a foot in the door or a way to go back to people to then be able to build that base back up.
Yeah, I've just got to go quickly. I've just got a quick question I've put in the chat. Bryce, have you done any analysis between text and voice, as in chatbots? Which one works better or which gets more interaction?
No recent information. As you guys may or may not know, we acquired ZappyChat about a year ago. And so since then, I'm really close with Matt DeSano, who owns HL Pro Tools and was ZappyChat founder. They have research, at least they did a year ago, on text and voice. And text had a 2x rate of conversion on connection at that time. I don't know what it is right now. The reason why we focused on conversational AI is because, at least my generation and lower, who are getting older and older, we don't answer the phones. I'll give you an updated number. I have 314 unread or missed calls, 314 missed calls. My voicemails are full. And all of my friends are the same way. It's different for different generations, but I believe in the future of text for a sales strategy because it's so low confrontation, and we can have the AI take as much time as possible to reply. With a voice, you get a much higher rate of what we call hallucinations, the AI saying things that are not true at all. And that's because the voice has to reply so much faster and it's so much harder to control. We don't have that issue with text.
I appreciate the answer. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bryce, sorry.
No, perfect. Jump in. I was just about to ask if anyone had any more questions because I know it's getting late for Bryce as well.
Sorry, yes.
I'm here already. Go for it.
Question. We have clients who have accommodation, and we want to put the web chat, and I'm also been invited by a large accommodation association to give a webinar in June, and this is a perfect topic. But one of the things that they will ask is if we have the web chat, you've already said that it's easy for it to go and make appointments in a calendar, but they all use external booking sites where you click on, see if there's any free accommodation or a caravan park or whatever, and you have to go to a third party site which looks across and then you do your booking there. Would it work with that?
And are they, so are you talking about like more short-term rentals?
A caravan park or a holiday park, where you're just going for the weekend. Yeah, short-term rental.
With those, it probably could if they have an API. So you'll have to learn what it is and see if they have an API for whatever calendar they're using. What you don't want to do, and you probably know this, you don't want to bring that type of calendar into HighLevel and try to do it with HighLevel calendars.
No, you can't. Yeah.
But
because they
API,
use their calendar to see if there's any vacancies, and then they book and take payment. So they're quite large kind of third-party booking apps. They're horrible.
So go to the way to find out is just find out what it is and then search that name and then API docs. See if you see, what API docs look like, even if you don't understand.
Yeah. One does have an API and it charges you $500 just to look at it. Another one does have an API. So yeah, okay. That answers my question. Thank you. Because then you can do what you showed us earlier with connecting it through the yeah.
And then like what we did with Calendly, we made a get Calendly availability tool, and then we made a book Calendly appointment tool. So anytime you're doing booking appointments on other calendars, you need to make 2 of those custom tools. One pulls availability and one books the appointment.
Okay, thank you.
If anyone's doing custom stuff too, like that stuff I said to you, you said you were a 3, I think, in the automation scale. Like you shouldn't be spending your time doing that. We have, let me show you in here. Go to Hub, Help. We have these certified builders. They're people that we've vetted to be good, actual humans. And we train them on all the newest up and coming CloseBot stuff. They're all experts in the platform. And you could interview some of these people. They all have their different focuses, what they work on. RealWave is probably the most technical. So a project like that, they would be the best one for that, but any of these could tackle that problem for you.
We just all need to make sure we're charging enough for it, because all of those integrations.
Don't get caught in the builder dilemma. Remember how easy it was to set up that feedback loop.
Yeah.
Like we can set that up in 5 minutes. And with the right sales, that can be a $50 million business. Remember back in the day how big missed call text back was? Just that one thing. there are so many more of those one things with AI now. It's hard to stay focused. There's always a new shiny thing. Set a goal for yourself of like, hey, I can't build anymore until I do this many clients.
I would like to ask a question on that, because that's something that I always, when I talk about focus, you're actually someone that I think of and make reference to just in general, right? It wouldn't even matter if we're talking about HighLevel or chatbots or anything. One thing that I've noticed is just how focused you are in your mission and staying within your lane. And I remember you're like, hey, look, like right now we don't need to focus on voice AI. And I think that might have been 2 years ago. And you're like, we're just focusing on what we do, and we're just going to keep on that mission and keep pushing forward. And it's massive kudos to you, because you look at what you've created and you've just stayed on that track of being able to be so focused. And one of the things that I see in HighLevel for people that are using it is it's like the magpie effect. It's like the shiny object syndrome. So, you know, something new comes out like the AI studio, and it's like, oh, has everyone checked that out? Look at what we're doing here. And now we're connecting forms. And it's like, before that, they weren't actually using any of those things. They were just, you know, offering the social media planner to people. But then they go down that rabbit hole, and then it's like starting the next thing to the next thing to the next thing. And I know that when I was doing voice and chat at our biggest prime, when we were pushing hardest, was during, I think, September last year. And we just went all in. That's all our focus was. It's how we're running our ads. It's how we were responding to everyone that was coming through. And we had the clientele coming in. And that was just like the biggest confirmation that I needed, is when you have a look at having that hyper focus on something, the result of that is just so much better, rather than trying to have your thinking or your thoughts in so many different areas, just being able to focus on the one thing. So I want to know what's helped you to be able to stay on that mission to do that.
Oh, it's a really good question. I'm trying to think back to when I first noticed that as a trait, because it's been something I've had for a while. I don't know. I wish I could tell you, Jarryd. I'm thinking back, like even hobbies that I had in college is when it started for some reason. I was just so focused on, at the time it was gymnastics. Lived and breathed gymnastics, and I wouldn't do anything else other than homework, of course. And I think it's just finding the thing that you're passionate about. And if you're truly passionate about something, it's really not a reason to go check out the newest shiny thing. Like, I love what I'm doing, so why ruin that?
I hear what you're saying, because even when I think about when I was younger, I was doing mixed martial arts, and that was like a 6-7 day thing without any issues. That was like the best part of my day, of being able to do that. Or, you know, going to training on a Sunday and then catching up with the coach and the others and watching UFC. So, you know, I had that massive focus where I could just laser in on it. But as an example, I guess to try and maybe point it a bit more, you're doing chat, right? And then we've got voice that people are talking about more, and they're trying to focus on more, and they're trying to bring it out. Why is it that you feel you haven't gone down that path with your business?
I'm just having so much fun with text. Voice is so much different. It really is. Like I said, you have so much less time to give a reply on voice. So what these voice systems do is a message comes in, they don't do all the back end really fun stuff that I get to build. It comes in, hits the big prompt, goes out. There's no time for anything else. And to me, that's just not fun. We get to do a bunch of really cool stuff at CloseBot because we get the luxury of time, and I have a lot of fun doing that. And I guess going back to focus, not only do I have a lot of fun doing it, but it's proven to be profitable for us. And I have a family to support. And any new venture I get into, is a risk.
Mhm.
If you're doing what you're doing and you're truly working on sales and it's not making money, I mean, pushing for the sake of like pushing through the boundaries is one thing. But if you've been pushing and you feel like you've given it due time, yeah, try something else.
I think it's a really good point as well. Like, having a look at have I given this a good go? Have I given it everything to be able to go it's for me or it's not? And then
But
if
the
it's
grass
not,
isn't
being able to
greener.
pivot.
Yeah, the grass isn't greener. Like
No.
it may seem like easy money doing the next thing, but serial entrepreneurs know like, there's a sticky point and you're profitable and it sucks and you're profitable
Mm.
and you enjoy it, but it sucks. And that's where you're in the right spot. That's good news because when it sucks, that's when people don't push through. So if you like it and you're making enough money to support like continued work and growth, keep doing that. Like we encountered an issue with it's happened with both HighLevel and HubSpot, but every time we encounter something that's like so hard to solve, we get so happy because we know like someone gave up here.
Such a really good point. It's a really good point. Guys, did anyone else have any more questions? We've been here for nearly 2 hours.
Yeah. Bryce, quick question around agency pricing. And obviously, I don't know if you guys see all of that, but what sort of prices are people putting on chatbots, just your standard chatbot on a website? What sort of range are you seeing?
Anywhere from, depends on the value
Yep.
that you're delivering. If this is an enterprise customer that has, like we have someone who's booking 300 appointments a day, they can charge a different amount because of
Yep.
the lead volume going through that system than someone who's seeing 3 appointments a month. Now, to get to your question, the people doing the 300 appointments a day, they're charging more like $5,000 to $10,000 a month for that. The people that are doing pretty much no volume, and maybe they're more green and just trying to find their foot in the door for free. And then maybe upselling other services or free for a certain time or
Yep.
percentage of revenue. And it might be a small amount.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Anyone else? I think we're good. No more questions, guys?
Thank you guys so much.
How are you all feeling after that? Has it been refreshing having Bryce on talking about this?
It's been refreshing for me.
It's been refreshing.
Thank you for being awesome.
Like I've really liked how that process comes together, but also really like how quick it is to implement. That's huge.
Circle back to that feedback loop. That was the primary thing I want you guys to take away. Implement that. If you're doing conversational AI, whether you're using CloseBot or built-in, do that feedback loop. When/if you hit roadblocks, CloseBot's here for you.
Thanks so much, Bryce.
Yeah, thanks, Bryce. That was really good.
Been awesome, man.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
heaps.
you guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you again.